Hello everybody, Andrew here, back for another episode on the SMB server. Thank you for joining me. Great to have you here. As you can see, we are in our Nether hub. If you check out many of the videos of our numerous SMB server mates, you'll see this hub probably a lot, and it's a fantastic build. Fantastic build. I love coming in here, and my tunnel is right there over my left shoulder. You can see the sign, and that's coming up. We'll get to work on that. But the reason that we're here today is if you saw a couple episodes ago, we did some work for Dadcraft out at his Valley of the Kings. He liked it.
Thank you.
Yes, we've got another project to do out there. Actually, it's a completion of that storage stuff. So I don't want to give too much away, but without further ado, let's head on out there and we'll get to work. All right, I'll see you guys as we get out there.
Are we there yet?
We get there when we get there.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, I'm speechless almost every time I come over here. It is so amazing, this build. So I know he's working on some stuff here, so I'm gonna pause the video for right now, and we'll head over to the storage room, and I'll meet you over there. Hi! Oh, camera. Yeah. You don't know that we're down here in the sorting system for the silo storage, and I had left this little hint here that to be continued. So what this is going to be is, as the items come out of the pipe and they flow across these filters, and if they don't get pulled out, then we're going to have this ice flow continue around. It'll make a left turn, another left turn, and it'll come right down, dip under this guy, and go into the wall right there. And the reason for that is because we're going to continue this guy right in and underneath this building, right into over here, just down under the floor down there. Because in here, I am going to be digging this entire floor out, down probably a good 12 to 15 blocks down. We'll have probably like a staircase going down in here, but this whole area, what you see right here, there's going to be like a big horseshoe shape, big square area down here is going to be dug out, and we're going to have chests along this side, and then along this side for storage. However, it's going to be all automatically sorted. We are going to be building the Tango Tek multi-item and automatic sorting storage system. We're going to put that in down here. So I will highly encourage you to check out that video, because I'm not going to go into much detail about how the thing works. I'm just going to build it, and we're going to do it in a series of jump cuts, because it is a complicated and detailed build. But he has a tutorial on it that goes into all the ins and outs. It explains it in every which way how it works. So we're going to put that together down here. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing started. I'm going to dig all this out, and I'll be back when we have it cleared, and I'll show you a little more of what we're doing. Alright, well, as you can see, I've been working through the night. The sun is rising, and yeah, look at that. We've got ourselves a nice big hole in the ground. And it came to me as I was digging this thing out, and I wanted to somehow provide some kind of a barrier, around the side of it, so that that you don't fall in accidentally. But I'm sitting there staring at these big signs here, these onks, and I'm looking. I'm like, hey, you know what? This outline right here. What if make the outline of the hole match that same design? So I was like, you know what? That works for me. So that's what I went and did. I went ahead and put that. These are upside down red sandstone stairs, upside down stairs. And so now I've matched that design that you see, or at least the perimeter, the outline of this guy. And I also crafted up a bunch of yellow glass panes. And I thought, what if, because the design you see there that DC put on his walls has a outline. Now it's not gonna match the color tone exactly, because the ones on the walls are using the colored clay, and what I've got here is the red sandstone. So it's not exactly the same color. But you can see, like I said, see, this is the yellow stained clay, and I believe this is the red clay. Is that the red clay, or is that just the natural? I believe that is the just stained hardened clay red. Yes. So that is red clay and yellow clay. And what I'm doing is using red sandstone and yellow glass. But I like it. I think that looks pretty neat. I like that. And it gives it a little bit of a tie-in from the design here on the outside to inside. Okay, I just wanted to give you this little kind of a progress report, and we've got the hole is all dug out. We're going to have chests all along that side, along the middle of the back wall, and along this side. So let me get started on the actual inventory system. Hey everybody, just wanted to give you a little update, a little progress report. I don't want to reveal everything I'm working on yet, because I want to leave that for the grand reveal. But you can see, put some stairs down here in the bottom. I've kind of brought the red around and whatnot. And you can see there's some item frames, and there's some chests and some stuff going on that, along the sides there. But I have dug out this area here. So the water tunnel, the water, I always struggle with what to call these things, but the water chute, the ice tray delivery system, thingamabobber, doohickey, whatchamacallit, whatever, be coming down this way. If there's a name you guys use, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to use that, be consistent. But so over here, behind the first set of chests, as you come in on the left, this is the beginning of the filtering and organizational system. Down here is kind of the brain and clock of the whole mechanism. There's a clock system down here, the hopper timer. And then this is a little clock unit right here that as items travel through this system, this clock will continue to push the items all the way through to make sure that everything gets filtered. Now again, this is a Tango Tek design. I don't really plan on modifying it or anything like that. So far it seems like the actual design will fit. So I don't really intend to modify it, but if we need to, we need to. The items will be coming from over there. They'll come in the ice chute, ice tray, and then they'll come up a drop evader over here, and then we'll bring them across and down into that chest right there, which is the input for this entire system. But I'm going to leave that chest right there so that this system over here will be for drop-offs around town, as it were, and this chest right here will be for when you're in this building and you just want to drop a couple things off, or you're doing whatever, so that there's multiple entry points to this entire system. But as you can see, we're getting started wiring it up, and I just need to continue wiring it up all the way around this room. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. Then we can reveal what it looks like, and I'll show you, and we'll do some tests, and I'll show you how it works. All right, back in a little bit. Hey everybody, and we're back, and I believe I've got this thing just about done, the actual storage system itself. Now I'm just gonna kind of keep the overall reveal till a little later. I still have some tweaking to do on the aesthetics and the overall design, but for the most part, the actual system itself is in. Now, I know I said before, I'm not going to really go over in detail how this thing works, what it all does, but I am going to tell you what the point of, what the purpose is, or what the end goal is of this thing. Now, this system is, by its very nature, is a multi-item sorting system. Most systems where we have a single filter. That filter is for stone. That filter is for cobble. That filter is for something else and something else and something else. You have one item that gets filtered, and then this pipe goes back and it goes over here to all of these chests. So all of these are the same thing. They're all the same item, the same individual item. Whereas what this system is going to allow us to do is to have multiple items in the same chest, and as long as we have a spot reserved, at least one item in one slot in this chest, then as we send items through this system, any matching items will get sorted into that chest. And same thing with this chest, and same thing with this. But we don't have to have the same chest doesn't have to be completely filled with one item only. We can have as many different items as we want, which really allows you to get granular and very specific on how you sort things. But what we've got here is, I've got all these chests, and you can see I've got at least one stone in every single one of these items. I have, in 3 of these chests, you see I have 3 test pieces right here. And there is a stone slab, and I don't need to go with that many. We'll just, we'll say, we'll go with 5. We'll go with 5 and 5. So these are going to be our test piece. So we've got a stone slab with all of these pieces of stone. And I believe it's this chest. I have an iron ingot in amongst all these stone. And I mean, all of these chests, every single one of these chests is filled with one stone per slot, so that there's no empty slots. But we have an iron ingot there was a stone slab over there, and this one has the polished diorite. So these are our 3 test items, if you will. Now I also have 3, as you see here, I have 3 items that do not have not been set up in this storage system, so they should not be sorted. They, after going through this entire system, should end up in this chest right here. You see that there's nothing in here, but those 3 items should pass through this entire system and not get filtered at all. And then lastly, I have 5 stone here. Now, because every single one of these chests have stone in it, they should get put right here into this very first one. The very first slot that matches this item, they should get picked up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to lock the system right now. What this lock means that I can put as much stuff into this input chest as I want, but nothing will flow through until I flip this lever. And all it's doing is basically I'm powering this redstone lamp, which powers this block of redstone right here, which powers that block, that sandstone block. And what it does in effect is powers this hopper. And if you're familiar with hoppers, if you apply power to a hopper, it locks it. It cuts it off from allowing items to flow through it. So basically this is preventing any items from flowing into the system until we're ready to go. Okay, so here is what we're going to, like I said, just to reiterate, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put our 3 test items, which should get sorted into the 3 chests that we saw. I also will have the 5 items of stone, which we saw should get filtered in to the very first chest that we have up there. And then we have these 3 non-sorted items, which should find their way right here into this system straight away. Okay, so we close that. Our chest is ready. Everything is in there. So I'm going to flick this lever, and then after approximately 60 seconds after this last item it goes into the system, that takes about 60 seconds to come all the way through the whole system, and we should see that last redstone over there. So here we go. And you can hear the clicking. All right, let's give it Let's give it a few seconds here to let everything go. Hey, come on, open the chest. Okay, see, everything is in. So let's give this thing about 60 seconds, and I'll be right back. Okay, and the clicking has stopped. As you can hear, it is nice and quiet again. So let's check this first chest. And there is the 5 stone added to the 1 stone that's already in that slot, giving us 6. So that was sorted as we expected. We have 6 stone slabs down here. We had the 5 and added 6. There we go. So the stone slabs were sorted. I believe it was this chest. Look, there we go. 6 iron ingots were sorted into there, which is fantastic. We have 6 polished diorite. Fantastic. So the diorite made it around there. And now we should have 2 pieces of andesite, a item frame, and a little dollop of redstone dust. Yes, there we go. And because these 3 were not set up in the system, they made it all the way through. And now you can pick these back up and do whatever that you want to with it. And like I said, these items may end up in here. Maybe all of these spaces or item slots that you had allocated, maybe they got filled up. Maybe it was an item that you hadn't thought of and hadn't filtered it yet, for whatever reason. But that's what this chest is here for, to give you a second chance, so that you can go back and put them through once again. All right, that is done. The item filtering and sorting system seems to be functioning nice and neat the way we want. Just need to do some aesthetic cleanup in here, and there's a few more items to take care of. Is like hooking the incoming item ice flow and water flow there, and then also finishing off the look of the room. All right, we'll be back when those are done. Oh, yes, look at that. Look at that. It is done. I am happy to say this thing is nice and finished off. You can see out here, at this side, we've got the water stream all finished from that corner all the way around. I'll show you in a second. It hooks up back over here, but you can see everything is nice and closed in. You don't see anything. It's all nice and clean. So I've got the lock on right now. There's nothing in here. And the test that I ran a little while ago, I just went back and I took out all except for one of them. So I'm going to do a full-blown test to go from that well all the way through here, but I've already tested it in pieces, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna work all the way through. But I just wanted to show you something before I turn it over to Dadcraft, before we get him out here and show it off. But well, how do we get back to the backside from this thing? Because eventually, this is going to get closed over. So it's like, how do you get to the guts of this thing in case you needed to look at something? Well, already, this guy here, we just, pop a couple blocks if you needed to. And those things are so robust, if you will, that probably won't ever have to deal with them. But this guy, there's a lot of mechanism going on here. So I put in a door right here. What? You don't see it? Oh. There we go. There we go. Put in a nice little door here. Made it so it's a hidden 3-high double piston door. I just thought I'd stick that in there. And this is the finished up side. So this is the chest right here that anything that's not filtered will end up right there. And I just used a little drop-evator at the very end of it to pop any items that didn't get filtered into that chest. And we've got a lot of this redstone. I mean, it's all up in here. There's lots of stuff going on. And like I said, Tango Tek has that tutorial. I'll put a link in the video description to go check it out. Back over here, you can see where we have the water stream coming in. It just snakes its way through this little tunnel right here. We have it coming over to another drop-evator. And all I did was have this drop-evator go up, over, and down into our input chest. And this chest is still available from the inside of the room in case you wanted to do it manually, or the items will come in via this water stream, come up and, like I said, over and into the chest. And the item lock works, for either way. It doesn't really matter. It locks the items after that chest, so it doesn't matter which way or how the items get in. That lock does work. So yeah, so that is pretty much this system all hooked up. I've tested it, I've run with it, and it works great. I like it. It's a little, it is a little on the advanced side, so I would not attempt it if you are not familiar with the redstone. But once you get it in, it's actually a fairly straightforward build, because it's very repetitive. What you build right here is basically repeated just over and over and over and over and over again. So as long as you understand what's happening right here, you shouldn't have any problem understanding the system as a whole, because it's basically just Lego blocks. You're just adding the same thing as many times as you need. And for this building, we chose a horseshoe shape. But you could build it in a straight line. You could build it a horseshoe shape much larger. You can go around a corner and go off, that kind of thing. I mean, it's up to you. But this is what we've got. And so now, like I said, I'm going to do some last final testing and checking and whatnot, and then we'll get Dadcraft out here, see what he thinks. All right, everybody. Hey, we are back. We're out here. Got Dadcraft with me, ready to hand this thing over and do a little reveal and get his opinion and take and see what he thinks. You ready there, Mr. DC?
Oh, I'm so ready. I'm so excited. I've been avoiding. Man, every time you do work out here, I can't come out here to my Valley of Kings and build anything. So
yeah, kind of like you get evicted. You're like, stay away.
That's
okay.
Right. So I'm anxious to see what's going on over here.
All right,
sure.
We'll head on over here again. Again, like last time, try to avoid looking in the pit until we're done, and because there's a little bit down there I want to show you. It's not too big. The main reveal is actually inside the building. So actually, let's start with the pit here this time, because
okay.
We'll look, and if you peek over the edge, you'll see basically there's not a lot different, except that the ice flow or the water flow here is continued around down in the middle and down under your storage building. And that's basically for any of the items that didn't get filtered by your first 12 filters there, which is the bulk items basically. So anything else will just continue on, and it'll go in under the building. And they'll get put into the sorting system that we have over here, which I'm calling I'm kind of referring to it as your granular storage, but you can refer to it as the Super Mondo storage system.
Oh man, what is all this crazy stuff you're always building out here, Andrew? Good grief.
Now, I want you to take a step back. If you look at your designs you have here on the side of the building, and you look at the outline shape of it, the yellow outline. Okay, take a look there from there.
Oh man, it's the same design.
There you go.
That's awesome. And the funny thing is, unless you had told me that, I probably would have never noticed it. But the fact that it's there makes this build like 10 times cooler, right? Just from the beginning. I went and found a bunch of. You had a mesa not too far over in that direction. Just across the water, and so I was able to get a bunch of red sand, craft up some red sandstone, and then just carry it on through. And I ran the red sandstone around here, just trying to give you a nice tie-in for the whole thing. Yeah, that looks great. I like it a lot, and I also like the fact that even though it's kind of here in the middle of the room, we can still easily get around here, right? So it's not like we've closed off access to the big silos,
right? The storage system is like I mentioned in my earlier clips. This is not by any means my design. This is the Tango Tek, the multi-item storage or sorting system. But a couple of signs here. If you haven't seen his video, it's basically you take anything that you want to sort, and you put it into this chest.
Okay.
But now the key to this system is if you open up any one of these chests, you'll notice that I filled them all up with one block of stone in each slot. And the way this thing works is that you go into all of these chests and you put one or more items, stackable items, that is, one or more items in throughout the whole system, all these chests, so that you can have one chest, say, dedicated to all your railroad stuff, so that you could have the powered rails, regular rails, the activator rails, all that. You could do all of that in any combination or pattern or whatever in the chest. You don't have to have an entire chest dedicated to one thing and one thing only. So you've got, I think it was 72 double chests here for all the different items, the wood, the various woods, the various planks, slabs, stairs. The only caveat is that you have to have at least one item in every single slot in every chest. And that's why I went and filled it all up. So you put some stuff in via this chest over here, you let it filter through, and then there's another chest over here on this side. And this is the overflow or non-sorted. So anything that, like, say, if you didn't think about it and you're like, oh, I didn't have a slot for XYZ, it will end up coming out in this chest because it wasn't able to sort it. Or let's say you had a chest here with all of your redstone stuff, and you had 5 slots allotted to redstone dust, and all 5 slots filled up with 64 each, yet you still had more flow going through the system. Well, the overflow will come out in this chest here. So then you can go back and you can reorganize your slot storage, slot allotment, and then send the redstone through again.
Okay, so what happens if, like, for example, I have prismarine bricks, like, in this upper left-hand corner chest, like this one up here.
Right.
Right, I have, like, 5 stacks.
Okay.
Right, let's say. And then over here, I say, this is like my general use, but I want to put like another 20 stacks of prismarine blocks over here in this chest. When I add new ones over here on this side, will they fill up this 5 first and then overflow to the second ones?
This chest right here, the one that I just opened up, this one here, top left corner, that is the first chest that the items will attempt to be sorted in. And then the one below it, all the way to the bottom. Then the items flow back up to the next one at the top and flow down. They flow top down, left to right, the items through this whole system. So if you had a bunch of prismarine blocks in this top left chest, and when they got all filled up, so all 5 stacks you say are at 64, yet you still had more prismarine, and if you had another chest over here that had additional slots for prismarine, these over here would get filled up, next.
Nice. Yes, man, that's going to... Awesome. Because, and this is... I've never been super organized. You've seen my base. I have chests laying around with random stuff in it.
Right.
And I always have these great ideas, right? Oh, I'm going to stay at this time. This server, this episode, this season, whatever. I'm going to do it this time. And then, 2 weeks in, I've got randomness all over the place. But the cool thing is, with a system like this, is I can spend the time to actually set up the organization piece and then just let it feed itself.
Right? Because the whole thing... This whole sorting system here can be fed either manually through that little input chest down there that we saw, or you can just dump anywhere out throughout the city that you set up your sewer pipe, if you want to call it that, the pipe system down here. It will flow and feed your granular storage system here.
I love it.
Now, you're probably, maybe you're asking yourself this, but how do you get to the backside if you ever had if you ever had need?
Yes, that would be good, I think.
Yeah, well, the door's right over there. Right over there. What, you don't?
I don't see a door.
Okay, how about now?
Well, I see a door now, but... Oh, you have a little hidden lever there? Oh,
yep.
That's cool.
I figured I'd give you a little James Bond kind of thing here. You got your own little hidden, tucked away door back here. So this is, like I said, back here, hopefully you won't ever have to head back here for anything, but I did want to give you access to it just in case you needed to. And I just wanted to play around and give you some kind of a cool, because to do all of this in this huge storage building and then to throw a door right over here, I couldn't do that, man.
It's kind of on theme too, right? You know, like a hidden passageway in the Valley of Kings, right?
Yep,
that makes sense.
So now I expect you to carry that on, carry that tradition on.
For sure.
So now I guess this is for the most part this building is pretty much done, and it's just however you want to continue on from here.
Yeah, so you finished your work, but it sounds like I've got my work ahead of me, which is to get all of these chests all around this place emptied out and either put into bulk storage or into, I guess, granular storage makes sense to me, right? That's a good name for it. Oh man, I love it, Andrew. I love it so much.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you do, man. It just was a lot of fun to work on.
I need to have you stop doing builds, because every time you come out here and show them to me, like, I'm smiling so much my face hurts. So, man, you did an awesome job again, as if the silos weren't amazing enough already. This is perfect. And, I do all these big things, but I'm not very good about putting my toys away at the end of the day, and this is definitely going to help that piece, right?
Yepers. Yeah, make it a little easier on you.
Yep. So again, you have captured 100% what I had in my mind exactly, and you've not only done that, but added some cool little touches that that make it even more awesome. So I can't, again, Andrew, I can't thank you enough for the work you've done out here. It's amazing. Yeah. I love it.
Well, you are most welcome there, good sir. I had a ball doing it. But alrighty, well, I'm gonna call this one done, and we're gonna get out of your hair, let you get back to work, because I think your work is now cut out for you.
Yeah, it sure is. Thanks again, Andrew, man. Love doing these videos with you. Thanks for your help, man.
Alrighty, and I'll see you in the future if I can't figure out something for you to do over at my place.
That'll work.
Alrighty, we'll catch you next time.